43.
42. 41.
40.
39.
Number 1.
39.
38.
37.
36.
35.
34.
33. 32.
31.
30. 29.
28. 27.
26.
25.
24.
23.
21.
20.
19.
18.
17. 16.
15.
14.
13.
12.
11.
10. 9. 8.
7.
6.
5.
4.
3.5.
3.
2.
1.
Hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a show out of my hat? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Good evening and welcome to the Mouthwash Talk Show, a minty fresh take on politics and life. Tonight we are still in politic mode. You're thinking, hey, John, the primaries were last week. It's over. Until election side. Well, we had the Democrat Republican primary and we have the Libertarian convention later on this summer. But there's some folks that are running as independents. So tonight we have someone who's got quite the story. You may not like him, you may love him, but you sure can't say he isn't interesting. So it's a story that it has a lot of layers to it. We'll call this the onion story because we're going to unpeel some layers tonight on a story that gives you a pretty good snapshot of behind the scenes politics of how these parties work. This is going to include the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. It's basically the perfect recipe to make an independent candidate that's a legit candidate, in my opinion. So, I'm going to love this. Anytime we can have the roast of both of the parties for legitimate reasons, I'm in. I'm here for it. So, we're gonna dive into that. I see. We don't have Lucy yet. We don't have Lucy, and I'm hoping she's going to be here because I want to see her health hack minute. I want to see I want to see how my potion's doing. She's working on a memory potion for me because I seem to get in my older age here. I think it's gray hair. You get gray hair and you forget things. So I noticed there's a correlation between that and the other thing. But hey, let's talk about results from last week. Yours truly, I got to win delegate for the Republican Party. I didn't know if I was going to win. I didn't campaign, didn't do anything. But there were 7 people running for 6 spots, and I'm thinking I'm going to get last. Oh dear, I got third, and I was like happy about that because there was only 2 precincts in my neighborhood. The rest of them were in Decatur and Perry. It almost seemed like they didn't want me to win delegate, but I prevailed. I got some votes, and I won. So I got my delegate fee. And if you did win as a delegate, hey, and if you're in the chat, why don't you put it in there and say, hey, I won delegate. Let me know. We want to know if you won your delegate race. And make sure if you did, tonight at midnight, I believe, is the final deadline to get your $150 in. Now, I want to say that I think the Democrat convention's only still $50. So I might switch parties just so I don't have to pay as much. Because, I'm from South Side Indy. We're a little tight from where I grew up. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest here. Let's see if I can get the right button. There he is, Major Melvin Hall. Is that saluting? Do we do that, or are you good with that part?
No, it's just our rank within my company. So yep, no worries.
Okay, good. I'm not much of a rule follower or that type of thing. When your story ran across the line here and we started talking, it just brought back the PSTD or whatever that is from some of my political ambition of how I was treated and how you've been treated. So tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, the 30-second elevator pitch here, and then we'll get into it a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually have worked in the risk and threat assessment industry for about the last 24 years. A lot of people don't know, but I'm that quiet storm behind a lot of your neighborhoods. For instance, a lot of your HOAs, a lot of your apartment complexes, a lot of your commercial buildings, a lot of your strip malls, they call me. I'm the guy that they call for cameras, bulletproof glass. Your upper echelon celebrities call us throughout the country for armored cars. I mean, it's a lot of things we do. We do a lot of different things when it comes to security. I'll even come to your home and do a home assessment of your home and tell you where you need security and where you don't need security. Our biggest part of what we do is physical security. And like I said, we've worked for a lot of different places, hospitals, liquor stores, retail venues. We do fully uniformed officers, armed officers, unarmed officers, daycares, schools, traffic control, construction, anything you could think of, even funeral escorts, we do that as well. So when I say I've delved into a lot of different things, I've trained a lot of different people, a lot of different personnel on active shooter training, stuff like that. We are really good at what we do. And that's the reason why our company name is Superior.
Okay, well, you could be Pinnacle. Superior. Well, and that is good. And after having a discussion with you before, it does seem like you are well versed in the security business and that. So before I get the panel on here, why would you want to be constable in Center Township? That's what you're running Center Township as an independent, correct?
Yes, the goal is to get enough signatures because here's the crazy part. So November of last year, in fact, 2024, if you want to even think about that far back, right? I was contemplating running because a lot of people that I knew were like, hey, man, you kind of already do that kind of stuff anyway, because, you know, you have a little service within your business where if the clients email you a notice, you print those off, your guys go to the door, they hand them to them, and you give a video to the client. So we do that anyway. That's literally what a constable would do when it comes to serving papers. So we do that anyway. We've done that for years. We just believe that now we can streamline the process because let's be honest, right? Marion County has 9 townships. Marion County has 9 constables. Do you know who any of the constables are? Do you even know who any of the deputy constables are? These are people walking around with badges and IDs. Do you know who they are? You don't. We all heard the controversy, you know, with the former constable, right?
Yeah, she's been on our show. She ran for the Congress and all that. And, you know, we've talked about those things. So, yeah, you didn't run last time. So
yeah. Well, I didn't run last time because I was too busy in my industry. Because man, my industry is a never-ending industry.
Yeah, the security is big these days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people building things, and they have to have people like us come and assess them. And of course, as you know, there's not disclosure, so there's some things I can talk about. There's some things I can't talk about. But at the end of the day, our clients love us. That's the reason why we're still standing. That's the reason why we're still in business. And they also trust us. And a lot of people trusted us because we've been around for a while. So, but yeah, big reason about it is that I believe that we can streamline the entire process. I have experience training people. I have experience streamlining processes. And most importantly, I believe that we can make it more transparent. I believe that every service should be on video. I believe that you as a citizen should be able to see what you're paying for. I mean, if you go pay a small claims court and say, hey, I want this paper served, you shouldn't have to play the guessing game when you come to court and like, hey, did they serve them or not? Right now, you got to trust the constable. Here's the issue. How can you trust constables that don't have integrity? Some of these people I'm hearing landlords are telling me, some of these people can't even call the constable that's currently in power. Some of these people can't reach them. Some of these people, when it comes to doing forced move outs, nobody's showing up. They can't reach the constable's office unless you're using a certain move out company that they're, that they're suggesting. So bottom line is this: if you pay for a service with the small claims court, you should be able to get the service that you're receiving. And obviously, there are some people that are telling us that they're just not getting that level of service.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring the panel on. We have Brad and Tiffany. Tiffany has not been on the show because she's been running for office, and we talked about. Let's see, do I got the people? All right, Brad's on the left, isn't he? There we go. We got to get. You can't. We don't want the show to tip over.
That's crazy.
So let me chat with Tiffany for a second here. Tiffany, we haven't talked for a minute. And I know it's just running is just crazy times, but it is good to have you back. And selfishly, I'm glad you didn't win because you'd spend more time with us. So I know that's about the best I could come up with.
I love it. It was a good experience. Learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about the people around me. Actually, I really enjoyed knocking doors in Marion County and interacting with voters. I enjoyed that more than I thought I would. But we've got a great candidate to take on Sheriff Forrestal, and it'll be nothing but popcorn October, November. So I'm sure
it's
that
going to be.
I'm sure
that
there
was,
it's going to be a great candidate for us.
Yeah, even if you get by this, because I counted up the votes, and the Democrats have about 2,000 more. Now, they have about 2,000 more people voted in their primary than that primary. So there's some work to be done. And I would say even some of them might have crossed over to vote for somebody just because that's one of the Brad. Brad, it's not your turn to talk yet. I'll shush him for you, Tiffany. But
the only side that does that.
Yeah, Jan Kiefer is now Jack Kiefer is her husband. Is that correct, or is that
correct?
Okay, he's actually a fraternity brother of mine at Ball State, older than me, and he was a coach for Lawrence North basketball. So, and I think she did very well in Lawrence. And some speculation is that she's going to run for mayor now. But Collier and Merritt endorsed her, and she got last. So that and I think honestly that sort of messed you up. I think that was on purpose. But we'll dive into that later in the private. I was disappointed in the outcome. But anyway, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It was a nice experience, and I met a lot of nice people. So
yep. And Brad, how are you doing tonight? I think you got a little bit of announcement here, don't you? I got a graphic up here. I think.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I can't hear myself.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
you. Tiffany, I missed you so much. No. Oh, if you have the graphic, then we're gonna be doing a baseball game outing, just to have everybody as sort of a meet and greet. I feel like we've always talked about wanting to get together, and we read everybody's comments too. Like, this is to everybody in the chats. We read you guys' comments, and I always want to put a face with a name. Maybe that's way too much for you guys, but I just think it would be a fun time to actually get together. I don't know everybody on a face-to-face level. Like Tiffany, I think you and I have seen each other probably the most, if that gives you any indication. And it's 4 times maybe?
Yeah, the library board.
If you count the 3 times you were stalking me at that library board meeting.
Well,
yeah.
I was stalking Micah mainly. You were just also there, along with Ray. God, I miss that. Don't you miss that, Tiffany?
So much.
Sorry, back to the baseball game. But we got a special group rate, so tickets are usually $18, and everybody's been complaining about how much concerts are and stuff. This is just $12,
and it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great time. And if you want to RSVP, we're just getting a head count right now. I have to get with the Indians about a week out from the game. So if you're interested, if you're on the fence, even just so we can kind of get a head count, go ahead and send an email to John at mouthwashtalkshow.com.
Yeah, it's at gmail.com. Mouthwashtalkshow@gmail.com. And you can send that to me. And we're going to get 25 people because we have a bunch of people sponsoring this. Indie Reporter. I got to change. Yeah, you got it. Brad, you got to change
that back. Yeah.
You are going to be fired. Tiffany, can you fire Brad from the flyer building business? He had so many times.
I want to raise, damn it.
Yeah, triple your pay. So Melvin, nobody gets paid on the show. So by the way,
that's okay.
No, that's what I think. That's what makes it fun. That, once you get money into politics, that's where everything kind of goes awry. And if we all keep money out of things, it's we actually can go along.
So let's get to it here. I'm going to go ahead and play. So, like I said, this story here has a lot of elements to it. And Major Hall here has been a security guard, and he's had a tough situation where he had to act in a split second up at the Brentwood. Melvin, you may not know this, but I used to own 4153 Brentwood condo from Town and Terrace from 1987 to 1998. I lived there. Can you believe that?
Here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. So we were working a commercial property, okay, and it was down the street from this location. And so an elderly lady, no joke, an elderly lady was like, "Hey, you guys work security. I see you here all the time. Can you come to my neighborhood?" And I was like, "Where's your neighborhood at?" And so she's like, "Well, what's your number?" And I gave her my number, and she gave the number to some guy over there or whatever. And that's how we got the contract. And the only reason we took the contract, no joke, only reason we took the contract was she was like, "Hey, there was an elderly woman over here. People are coming through her back door, crawling through her back window, and she got sexually assaulted, and they kind of like held her at gunpoint in her apartment." And I'm like, "That's crazy." So that right there is what made me was like, okay, I'll take the contract. Like, no joke. I underbidded it on purpose. And it was our second day there when this incident happened. So I was like, sometimes God will put you where you need to be, not where you want to be. And that's just the truth. So
yeah. So I remember going up there campaigning for mayor in 2019 before this happened. And I remember driving by my condo, which was vacant. It was like the first or second one in. It was the first 2-story. There was a 1-story down below it. And I drove back to see a guy that was getting signatures for me. And I drove by one that had squatters in it about midway down. And I tell you what, you can ask anybody. I'm not afraid to go pretty much anywhere. I mean, I live in Mars Hill, so I'm not afraid. But those people, they were not nice. I'm not stopping there. And so they basically were squatting, drugs, all the stuff. So I know what you're talking about. And your incident happened in 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. There was 2 incidents in 2020.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play this one right here. This is after you've been found not guilty for basically self-defense, guns, all that stuff. It'll pretty much tell you everything. So let's do this one.
An Indianapolis mother speaking out tonight after a security guard is found not guilty in the death of her daughter. Natasha Williams was killed in August while sitting in her car. Court records say witnesses confirmed Williams had a gun. They say they didn't see her point that gun at Melvin Hall Jr. Hall was working as a security guard at the Town and Terrace housing complex. Williams's mother says she's disappointed by today's verdict.
I expected better results. I don't think that one will ever close. This is my companion, and I have my life planned with.
In 2017, Hall was also found not guilty of impersonating a police officer. The Williams family is still filing a civil lawsuit against Hall, the Town and Terrace complex, and the city of Indianapolis.
All right. Well, that was, I'm sure that was a pain. And I did read through your bail denial court record and different things. And did you spend what, 3 months in jail? Did I read that right? Or did you tell me that?
If I remember correctly, I think it was almost 7
months. And then you had the court case, and then it was a jury trial, correct?
Yes.
The jury found you not guilty. And this was part of
to give me a okay. So the day of the trial, they tried to give me a plea agreement, and I was like, no, because they're like, oh, involuntary manslaughter. And I'm like, okay. Clearly they didn't know who they were dealing with, because, I've had law enforcement training. So anybody that knows about law enforcement training knows that they have to prove definitively. Murder is something you have to prove. period, point blank. Bottom line is this. I've been in this industry 22 years. I'm a firearms instructor. I'm a certified use of force person, literally OC spray, taser. I do it all. So if I'm the instructor, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing when it comes to using force. In fact, in 2009, Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, and in 2017, I went through what's called 40-hour pre-basic. For those of you that don't know what 40-hour pre-basic is, 40-hour pre-basic is the basic law enforcement certification that every law enforcement officer in the state of Indiana has to go through. When you go through 40-hour pre-basic, they teach you EVO, they teach you how to drive a vehicle, they teach you use of force, they teach you law, but most importantly, you have to certify with a firearm. You have to qualify with a firearm. So in both 2009 and in 2017, I qualified to use deadly force through the state of Indiana. They trained me to use adequate force. So when 2020 came and a prosecutor was running for election in Marion County, think about it this way.
He got the wrong person on the wrong day.
Exactly.
Well put, Tiffany.
He was trying to get reelected. This was the same year that he indicted IMPD officers for the situation where they were dealing with the female downtown. If you guys remember that, there were some ERG officers downtown. They were enforcing curfew for IMPD, and he basically tried to indict them with a grand jury. And at that time, like the whole ERG for Marion County, like IMPD, like quit. Like it was bad. And they kind of gave a no confidence of Ryan Mears. So yeah, that's the same prosecutor that tried to charge me with murder. Obviously it was not murder. Marion County pulled up first. They were working off duty across the street. Lawrence police pulled up second. IMPD pulled up third. ISP pulled up fourth. 4 law enforcement agencies in Marion County saw the scene, saw the weapon, saw what happened, and not one of them made an arrest. It was the prosecutor that decided to charge me, and it was the prosecutor who was beat when we went to court and the 15 jurors saw all the evidence.
Yeah, I would say that we could go along that. We've had Jeremiah TV Ball on our show, and he's going on 3 years of being accused of check forgery. That is a sham case. I've seen some evidence, and it is just a sham. The person it's supposed to pay back money to the state. It's just a mess. And, I was a victim of the same, not of this degree, but, had an incident on a job site, and the Whitestown police came out and nothing happened, but I start running for mayor, and mysteriously I get charged for tumultuous activity up in Boone County. Yeah, it's like it's a B misdemeanor or whatever you call it. I had that going, but
that's crazy.
So prosecutors can kind of go after who they want.
Yep. And I still would like to know why Rachel Tate decided to go after mine. I never got any answers. And
remember, they have immunity. So
Yeah. Oh, we got a dog loose here. So I want to Rob Smith. I want to address this. He said I should have stayed in as an independent, and this is your signatures thing. Rob, I did not withdraw. They threw me off the ballot because of they just threw out my signatures, and so Melvin is going through that same thing right now. I needed 6,100. I end up getting 5,600. He needs 600, but he's gonna get 10,000. So I have my sheet right here, and I'm gonna go get some signatures for him to get on the ballot as an independent. And Greg Ballard, if you're watching, I ain't getting no signature for you because Greg Ballard poo-pooed on me when I was running for mayor, and told me I was a traitor to the party and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And look what he's doing now.
Crazy
so,
work.
Melvin, I'm sure you've seen a couple of hypocrites in this. So, let's get to the. You were going to run as a Democrat this time, correct?
Yeah. So the goal was to originally run as a Democrat, and so here's the thing. I am a consultant. So when it comes to being a consultant, I have to work both sides of the line. Because when it comes to, security, everybody needs security, right? It's not just Democrats, Republicans, independents, libertarians, right? I work for everybody. So I can work for some of the people you hate the most and some of the people you love the most. I'm not gonna say names, but guess what? When it comes to security, if any one of you guys was to hire my agency, I would protect you with my life the same way I would fight for my life if a situation happened. That's what you pay for. You pay for a professional that is going to protect you no matter what you like or what you don't like, right? Because that's the reason why I'm a professional. That's the reason why my clients love us, and that's the reason why they trust us. We protect the assets that are most important to everybody, their family, their children, their homes, right? These are things that are not usually accessed by regular people. So a lot of people have no idea the level of fighting that I've gone through. Like, for instance, 10 years ago, you were talking about the one that happened in 2017. The reason why that was so significant was because I myself was just a regular security guy doing my thing. Clients loved me. People loved me, right? Whenever there was a crime watch meeting, they sent me in. Whenever there was an issue with a client, they sent me in. Whenever there was a problem, they sent me in, period. I was always the problem solver. So I was their golden goose, right? Now, imagine being someone's golden goose, and then all of a sudden, you start your own business. Now, you're their competition. So when I became their competition, when I tell you they sent federal agents after me, when I tell you they tried to send the IRS after me, when I tell you they were like bugging my phones, it was a lot going on. I mean, I felt like, it was crazy. But the God I serve, and a lot of people don't realize, faith of a mustard seed, man. With the faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. And that's what the word says. And I trust that. And I believe that. So every battle that I've been through in my life, God has walked with me. And guess what? I've survived more battles than most people can say that they have. I'm still standing. It's that simple.
After talking with you and hearing you, you seem very overqualified for constable.
Well, here's the funny part about it, right? My philosophy is very simple, because you're not the first person that said that. They're like, man, hold on, why? And it's very simple. Think about it this way. Imagine that you are a business owner, because I'm an entrepreneur, right? And imagine how many times you've had to go to court for whatever reason, right? Let's say somebody is suing you. Remember, small claims is anything $9,999 or less, right? It takes $100 to file a lawsuit in the state of Indiana, right? So imagine you being a professional, you having work, you having kids, you having things to do with your life. And imagine you going to court because you get a subpoena. But then imagine that nobody shows up because the constable isn't doing his or her job. Do you really have time to keep going back and forth? Do you really have time to keep taking days off when your kids might have dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, and everything else? You don't have time, right? The townships are meant to be a funnel system so that you don't have to go to the criminal justice center all the time. There was a time where you only could go to city county building, and then you got to do the hustle and bustle of parking, right? But then the townships made it easier. Here's a private location closer to your house. You can go, it's more convenient, right? But here's the issue. Some lawyers were pushing all the cases to like Franklin because they knew that maybe somebody with a judge or maybe somebody with a certain attorney or whatever would go to certain places and certain judges would act certain ways. That's the issue, right? There's too much room for corruption when it comes to people. So at the end of the day, I know that I act with integrity. I know that everything that you could say negative about me, all I'm going to tell you is I won.
Well, yeah, Melvin, what have you seen from like the other people in the constable role that made you want to put your name in the ring and run to serve, basically?
So here's my biggest issue. Faith without works is dead. That's in the Bible, right? A lot of us know that, right? So here's my issue. I don't like the fact that there was a person that was never qualified to be constable, that was made the constable only after he lost his election to the school board, after he ran IPS school board into the ground. That's one. the same day he lost his election in 2024 is the same day that his godmother, who is the chair of the Democratic Party, made sure that he was sworn in the same day he lost his election to Center Township Constable's office. Now explain that to me, because statute says in order to run for a vacancy, you have to have lived in that jurisdiction for a year. The reason why I know that is because when I tried to run, I was in the process of moving to Center Township. And the leadership in the Democratic Party made it very clear to me, hey, unfortunately, you don't live, you haven't lived here for a year. I said, no worries. Next thing I know, Russ McQuaid does a story, and he's saying that there's a guy that was sworn in November, but he doesn't even live in the township. In fact, he lives in Lawrence with his wife. So explain to me how the Democratic Party can take a person who had an office, lied about where he lived at, tried to come back later and rent a $5 apartment, right? And then, let's see, he didn't live there, got caught. When Russ McQuaid asked him for a statement, he was unavailable, right? I put in a complaint.
Sorry.
I put in a complaint to the Democratic Party because I thought it was ridiculous. Never heard anything about it.
Yeah. Well, and so we fast forward to that. So obviously you're not going to get the nod from the Democrats. So you reached out to the Republicans.
God, that is infuriating, by the way.
Oh yeah. Well, and there's a lot more to it. I just want to move on.
No, but I mean, I think people view Democrats sometimes as like, oh, well, everybody should be on the same page because we're the underdog, and like there's only one place to go is up. But it's like we're still just tripping on ourselves everywhere.
Here's the funny part about it. I just got my so today in the mail. It's kind of funny that this came today, but today in the mail, my official Democratic Party came.
That's fancy.
That is crazy, right? You know what I mean? And here's the funny part about it.
Where can you use that? What do you do with that?
Here's the funny part. They just sent it to me. It's your official.
I thought they would have had Biden's face on it or something.
I mean, do you get a free cup of coffee or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I made a phone call. I made a phone call to him and said, hey, send it out today right before our show.
Pull that out at McDonald's.
So here we go.
So
Tommy Ice, a friend of the show. He's a loyal viewer. He says you have too much integrity to be a Democrat.
Here's the funny part about it, man. When I tell you I have been in rooms with billionaires and millionaires, and they're like, dude, like you should be like my assistant. I'm like, dude, why does everybody want me to be their assistant? Like everybody
you're gonna
wants
do the
me to
work.
be their staff. They're like, man, you're cool people. You know what I mean? We love you, we trust you. You know, your family. It's so funny. It's so funny sometimes talking to these people. But bottom line is this. At the end of the day, I've seen a lot going on both sides of the fence. Marion County is off the chain right now.
Well,
and the sad part about it is this, man. As someone who has lived here my entire life, went to Ben Davis High School, lived on the west side, now live downtown, like maybe a block. Like I can look out my apartment window and like I can see the circle. Like that's how close I live to downtown. Because I live in the 2020 North Meridian building. But the biggest issue I see is that we have so many people that are trying to say that they're doing things that they're just not doing. Like, for instance, these data centers keep popping up and nobody's listening to the residents. Nobody cares about what the residents have to say. These
the residents don't have money, like the big companies, though. That's the residents should get more money together to throw. Sorry. But yes, that's
well, we'd like to put questions up from our viewers. And Rob Smith, I don't know, are you I've not seen your name pop up a whole lot in here, but he's very knowledgeable about Center Township, and he did poke fun of me on the Witty Review show. Rob, I am the producer of that show, so I did see your comment about me retiring, which I don't know if that was a mercy retirement comment or you don't like me and he wants me to retire comment, but I'll let you
Witty,
slide on
Witty
this.
Reviews always has, the comments section in that show is a lot different.
Yeah, it's
no holds barred in there.
It's a lot different. So now you worked. Let's see. What does Melvin have to say about working for Denise Paul Hatch when she was former constable? So,
all right. Well, bottom line is this. I'm glad he came up with that question. Bottom line is this, guys. When I walk in places, I usually try to leave them better than when I left. So when I was sworn in, I was a deputy. But then, as you know, I'm an analytical person, right? So I'm like, this process was kind of crazy. So while I'm going through the process, I was creating another process for how to onboard. I was creating a process to do background checks, fingerprints. Also, I was the one, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I was the one that was quietly consulting Denise Hatch when it came to all the deputies that got fired. So you remember when all the deputies got fired in Marion County? I was the one that told her to do that. I said, everybody needs to get fired because at this point, there's 100 deputies. And how many of these people have badges? How many of these people have IDs? How many of these people have been through a background check? How many people are supposed to actually be carrying a gun? Crickets. I say, yeah, you need to fire everybody. And everybody needs to reapply. And they all need to go through this level of process so that you can make sure that quality control is being something that happens. Because at this point, it's a public safety hazard. Because there was people that were convicted felons. There was people that, weren't supposed to have guns, weren't supposed to have badges, weren't supposed to have IDs. This is another reason why, if you look at my website, I say that if elected, my deputies will never have the word police on their vest. They will never have even, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't even want them to have the word deputy on their chest, right? Because if they're wearing brown and they're wearing deputy, how do you know the difference between them and Marion County sheriffs or any other sheriff in Indiana?
Or
you
ICE.
You don't. And so I would rather them have constable on their chest and Marion County constable on the back of their uniform. That way they can be fully marked and fully like you know who they are.
Are you thinking about trying a different color?
I'm thinking about black. If you look at my picture when he first launched this, I was thinking about black. In fact, I told Denise everybody should be wearing black. I don't even think deputies should be wearing brown. Because
are you thinking like 2 pieces or a 1 piece?
Here we go. Now we got that fashion part of the show.
Like a flight suit?
I think with a ruffle with a pirate collar.
Well, what it would be is it would be black bottoms, ACU, BCU, type bottoms, kind of like EMTs wear or IMPD wears. Really, anybody in the security industry wears those kind of pants. They're utility pants. They're heavy duty. They'll be good to go. And then like a shirt, kind of like this one right here. If they, of course, it would have the constable star on it, and it would have their first initial, last name, and they'll have the constable patches on it. But at the end of the day, it would be clear, they would be clearly identified, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of those guys are sworn not really paid, they're paid $2-3 a piece of paper for every time they serve a paper. Yeah. And most times they're volunteers. But the biggest thing that they do is they take that power and they go work off duty. And here's the thing, they're working off duty with no training. A lot of these guys have no training, no academy, no nothing. So when I came in, being that I'm a use of force trainer, firearms trainer, taser trainer, stuff like that, my job, literally, I was a lieutenant. In fact, they made me a lieutenant. I didn't ask to be a lieutenant. They said, hey, you're a lieutenant over training. Your job is to create our training regiment. So it's just that simple.
Can I ask about taser training now, please?
Yes, yes.
Sorry,
everybody that's certified in
I was
taser.
like looking at John and I'm like,
please taste Brad, please. Tiffany would
Brad,
do a cartwheel if you tase him.
All I can think about is the Hangover right now, and
Brad,
I don't know
how
how you aren't. 42. I've never been tased.
If you get tased, does that give you a hangover?
Hall, aren't
Yes,
there
ma'am.
parameters around hazing people? Don't they have to be healthy?
So here's the thing: everybody is required to sign a waiver, and the waiver has, 3 boxes. One of them is, do you have any prior, do you have any prior medical issues? Do you understand it's voluntary?
Okay, it is voluntary. Okay.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I have plenty of, like to my right, there's a target. We call him Bob. In fact,
Can we name it Brad?
Yeah.
Can we change the name to Brad? Please.
That
let
is
us change
so
the name
funny.
to Brad.
Is like is the chemical spray also voluntary?
Yes, anything we do is voluntary as long as you sign my waiver. You can come through my classes, man.
We got to do a live tasing of Brad, and then if that doesn't work, let's.
No, I
Mason-
don't want
You
any
can
of
sell
this
tickets
guns.
to the tasing of Brad.
Maybe we'll
guys-
do it at the Indians game.
We
Can
should
do it at the
definitely
Indians
make
game?
it an event. I'm a certified instructor, so I could definitely make it happen.
Yes, I love how we jumped. Like, I mean, we didn't even like go for like a dunk tank, something fun. It's like, no,
That's
let's just
so,
tase Brad.
that's so 1990.
What's more fun than Brad getting tased? I
No,
can't think
but-
of a thing.
Pepper
I'll
spray in the
donate a
face.
cartridge. I'll
That
donate a
can happen at
cartridge
the
for
next
the
No
show
King
if that's what we
though,
want.
John. So, you know, you never
We
know.
got
Look, Brad,
sponsor.
we already got a sponsor.
Listen,
I'll sponsor
John,
you
we're gonna
$100.
make the money.
I
Okay, I give 100.
That's crazy.
No,
Crazy.
You guys are
but,
killing me.
but I kind of, especially with chemical spray, I thought that if you used it, you would have to at least know the experience of it. I can see with like heart conditions and not doing tasing, but chemical spray in your face, if you're willing to use that on somebody, you should at least get to experience it with an eye wash right next to you.
Well, you know, the crazy part about it is this, though, right? Now, listen to what I'm about to tell you. In the state of Indiana, did you know that there is no certification required for any security officer working in the state of Indiana? Did you know that?
That's not unsettling at all.
No,
It is
I
unsettling.
feel
It is
really
really-
good now. I wish I didn't know that.
So you're
here's-
saying that all these mall cops have no training whatsoever?
So listen what I'm about to tell you. The way that professional licensing goes in the state of Indiana is there is a qualifier. So for instance, I'm the qualifier for our company. So I have to have a certain amount of hours that is verified by the licensing board. So then they understand, okay, I've worked for this company, that company, this company, and I have experience. Here's the issue with that though. Our security company has our own internal academy, and this is the reason why. I wouldn't trust a person to protect my family, my assets, and the most important things in my life if I didn't know that they could shoot a gun. If I didn't know that they know when to use force and when not to use force. If I didn't know that they knew how to de-escalate or escalate, depending on the situation, right? You can't have people that are hotheads in this business, and because they become a liability. Period.
A lot of law enforcement, I feel like, can become easily escalated, and it's because it's such a dangerous job. I get, but there needs to be that training on when to use that kind of force.
Well, that's
Yeah,
also
like you
why.
said.
That's also why when they do the law enforcement academy, they have so many weeks of training and so many weeks of things, and then there's tier 1, there's tier 2, there's tier 3. You know, so there's different levels of training depending on who you are.
Do you guys do like mental health training? I mean, is that?
Oh yeah.
Just-
So in our own academy for our company, every person that we train is required to do mental health training. They're required to do we actually are about to start doing CPR with one of the constables that I work with. He's going to be doing like the CPR stuff with them. So some of our guys even train on horseback to deal with crowds. I mean, we do a lot of different things: pepper ball, OC spray, shoot, don't shoot, right? Scenarios where, hey, they have a firearm, but it's not a true firearm. We call it a training gun with a laser. So, so that they're training on when to shoot, when not to shoot. They don't know when to, Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tiffany.
No, I missed Tiffany so much.
What is this pepper ball you speak of?
So
Brad wants one.
So
and he said laser right after that, so he's gonna need to answer for both of those, please.
So do you guys remember when like they were having a lot of the riots and a lot of the stuff going on throughout the world, and so you would see on the news that there's a riot, and then there's like the law enforcement personnel, and then the rioters are across, and you would see like smoke coming up. All of that wasn't really smoke; it was pepper ball. So pepper balls can shoot anywhere from 50 to 100 feet. But when they hit the ground, they explode, and when they explode, it has a chemical that's in it, and it's an irritant. It's basically like OC on steroids that was made in a lab. So that's what pepper ball is. It's used for riot control, ERG, a lot of. So anytime
is there any control on the smoke of the pepper ball, or is it just whatever way the wind blows?
So when a pepper ball
whatever
hits,
way the wind blows.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that doesn't.
Well, let Melvin tell us, you experts. I mean, come on.
so remember, you're never truly supposed to target face or with those projectiles. It's not a firearm, obviously. It's almost like a paintball gun. So imagine a paintball gun. It has little bitty circles, and those little bitty circles are pepper ball projectiles.
Is that what the guy got shot in the eye with? Was one of those that? Did you see that he was complaining about losing his vision, or was that a rubber bullet? That was a rubber bullet.
I mean, it comes at you pretty fast. I mean, imagine
life does too, and here we are.
You're pretty funny, Melvin.
Well, hey, I'm good at what I do. Like I said, I'm telling you, people that know me love me, and then there's other people that are like, well, I've heard this, and I'm like, look, bro, it's real simple. I won. So with that being said, I'm going to keep, pushing forward, trying to, be the best version I can, be the best person I can. But at the end of the day, when I see a problem, I'm going to address it. And so that's the reason why I'm so steadfast on running. Like I said, my original campaign, my original plan was put up billboards. You guys probably saw the billboards downtown. I was the guy on a horse. If you saw those billboards, it was 7 billboards from like November down to like April. So I had planned on running this primary, but the issue is when the chair decided not to sign my declaration of candidacy, I said, oh, I can read the writing on the wall. Because she was like, oh, well, we're going to look at it, but we're going to let you know on the 9th. And I'm like, the 9th? Don't this stuff got to be turned in on the 8th? And she was like, well, if you're not qualified, you can da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, at this point, you're playing crazy. So Destiny Wells, she read it and she was like, oh, she was playing fast and loose. I was like, yep. So when I saw what was going on, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let you kick me out because you want to kick me out. I'm going to withdraw and I'm just going to, I'm going to run around you. I was always taught in my life, whenever life gives you lemons, make the best tasting lemonade and make sure that everybody wants your cup instead of somebody else's. Yeah, so that's my philosophy.
Yeah, mine's when life gives you lemonades, make a margarita.
Oh,
so that was the first time. So and you filed the withdrawal and you sent me some paperwork on that. It seemed like it was just a simple procedure and they had it all muddled up. Mm-hmm. So I want to get to the Republicans because I really like to pick on the Republicans, especially the ones in Marion County. So, hey, Melvin, this is Brad's Bud Light pee break. Usually he has to go to the bathroom. Make sure you turn off your microphone this time, Brad. We don't want to hear you peeing.
That is so funny.
So you had decided, well, maybe I'll try the Republican side because, as you mentioned before, your clientele is, it can be anybody, right?
When I tell you, I literally had people that was like, dude, you should run. I mean, no joke. They told me, like, hey, man, I know you're a Democrat, but you should really run as a Republican. I'm like, I don't know about that because I don't know. Like, I mean, it was one of those situations like, I don't know.
Well, like somebody said earlier, you have too much integrity to be a Democrat.
Man,
that's not here to defend the Democrats. We can say what we want.
One thing about me is I'll call anybody out. I don't give a dag whose party they're on. You know what I mean? Wrong is wrong and right is right. And a lot of people have never seen a constable on a horse. And I felt like, hey, constables is old school law enforcement. So I thought it was cool to show people that I'm a country kid from Albany, Georgia, and I summered in Albany, Georgia, and then I worked on farms. So, I'm a rural kid. I'm pro 2A. I'm a firearms instructor. I actually am working on creating the 50 cal experience right now. We just purchased a Barrett 50 cal. I actually went down to Tennessee and became an armorer for Barrett 50 caliber rifles. So, and I just want to be different, right? This is my very first campaign. Never did a campaign before, never did anything political before. I never really did any politics because, like I said, I make money on all sides. So I never really chose a side. But at this time, it was one of those situations where if you see something wrong, make it better than it was yesterday. So that's the way I was raised. I was raised that way. I was raised in church. I'm a minister right now. I'm actually a minister of music. I'm also a minister. I have a houseless ministry. All of my officers actually carry what we call hygiene bags in our trunks. So as we go throughout the city, throughout the state, if we find people that are in need, we will give them the bag. The bag has deodorant. It has, toothbrush, a comb, things that people take for, for granted. It has Bibles in it. That's the kind of person I am, but a lot of people, media, a lot of the politics, a lot of the people being loud will tell you I'm somebody that I'm not. But here's the funny part about it. If you get to know me, you'll probably like me a lot. Because a lot of people like me.
We had a good conversation the first time I met you. I thought, man, this guy, he's got as much ADHD as I do. So, of course, that's why we talked for an hour, and I don't even remember what we said. But
I know, right?
No, I do remember. But part of the story that I really enjoyed, hey, Brad, you're back. Part of the story that I enjoyed was the fact that you had reached out to the county chair. And full disclosure, I ran against this county chair. And if you would have sent me a message, I would have responded. So you sent a message to them and the constable that is the vice chair and asked them about maybe get involved with the Republicans. What did you get back?
Absolutely nothing. And here's the funny part about it.
That's all you need to say. That's all you need to say.
So one of my clients was like, hey, he's a really good guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a really, really good lawyer. And I help him, when it comes to, witnesses being protected and stuff like that. So he's like, hey man, you guys just did a really good deal for me. Reach out to the county chair and ask them about this. And I said, okay, I reached out and I asked them. So when I reached out and asked them, it was like, I think it was like 2024. And I was like, this is crazy. And this was right after they did the, the guy lost his election and the same day became constable. And I was like, and I was talking to the lawyer about oh, this is crazy. I was like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I was like, does he even live there? And he was like, I doubt it. And so he was like, okay. And I was like, well, it is what it is. They told me I got to wait a year. So I'll wait a year and I'll just run. And, my integrity, I'm not worried about it. Right. So then next thing I know, I hear the story. And then, but like I said, but before that, I reached out and sent an email to the county chair and the vice chair because he's like, hey, you should reach out to this guy. He's already a constable and you should reach out to that one because that's the chair. And I was like, okay. So I just sent an email. I was like, hey, I'm just curious, trying to make contact with them, talk to, like I said, I talk to everybody.
You don't have to be defensive about this at all. In fact, there's people that are elected Republicans that don't get answered. So do not feel like you were slighted because of possibly being a Democrat or whatever. But I think this is setting up.
I don't even think they knew who I was, and they just didn't. They didn't even respond.
They don't.
I didn't send them an email saying, "Hey, I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I want."
You sent me this. You sent me the stuff, and and anybody that's watched this show for any time at all, I'll vote for somebody. About 80% of why I vote for somebody is if you can get a hold of them. If you can't get a hold of them, they're worthless. And so, that to me it says a lot about.
Here's the funny thing, right?
That's a big thing, John. I think with everybody. I think everybody's just fed up with the inaccessibility of.
Yeah, and I think the independent way, other than the fact that you have to get a bunch of signatures. Now, 600 is not too many signatures.
It's still insane. That is insane.
But everybody should have to get them. Or not get them.
I'm against. I think that is just. If you're against any sort of voter ID thing, like how are you gonna, okay signatures Seriously, like I could just make up 600 names in
Well, but you got to get them verified at the clerk's or at the
spoken like a
voter
true
registration.
Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get them, and it isn't when you take it. I took
to
in
be real people, they just won't be alive.
Yeah, I took in
You're
3,500. Yeah, I took in 3,500 signatures for them to verify one day. That was just one drop.
So check out my strategy for signatures, right? So here's what I did, and I mean they got so mad and I didn't even care. So you know, I've always been one, you know, I serve the Jesus that flips the table. You know, I'm that guy. So you know, so they're like, oh well, you know, they're doing midterms, and I'm like, there's like, oh well, they're doing early voting. I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, they want me to get voters who are verified who live in my township. So me and my team were like, okay, well, let's print out the zip codes and let's make clipboards and let's send them out. So we sent them out. We put one person on one side of the city county building. We put another person on the other side of the city county building. And I did the middle of the city county building. Do you know that we got probably 800 signatures in like 4 days?
Oh yeah, it's
just
the
from
best
early
way to get them
voting
done.
at that one location.
How many do you need?
But it's 4 days. It's 4 days of just
602.
oh.
I mean, dude, it was raining. Those
yeah,
wet.
Like, why?
Like, I mean, there were papers that had like 2 signatures on them. I'm like, oh, let me guard these with my life, and let me get put these in the car.
I just want to know, like, John, what does that prove? Like, what
you know what
signatures prove that you know people
it
need
is.
to get
We can
them
all
in order to be in
blame.
the-
We can blame Ross Perot for this. Ross Perot ran as an independent back with back in the 90s, and ever since then, these states made it very difficult. Now, my contention on this is you have to have 2% of
You
the
don't think it's
vote
to
of the
keep people
Secretary of State
from
in
doing
your
this?
district.
You don't
What's
think
that?
you don't think it's to keep people from?
No, it's definitely
from doing
designed to keep that. That's what I'm saying. Ross, keep Ross Perot's from running.
Because as a security expert, no joke, as a security expert and as a self-defense expert, I'm telling you, the most difficult thing that there is to do is walk up to somebody's door.
Yeah.
When you don't know what's on the other side.
I don't want to do that.
I've knocked on a bunch of them. Well,
I
Tiffany,
don't
you're
wanna
up
do
there in
that
the friendly
at
neighborhood.
It
Well, I mean,
makes
you gotta
no
understand,
sense to
though.
me to bother somebody at their house.
Yeah, it's
You gotta understand. Look at what happened in Whitestown.
Yeah.
Look
Oh
at what
yeah,
happened
with
in
the cleaning
Whitestown,
lady.
right? This was a person that was supposed to be in that area who went to the wrong house. And what you gotta understand is this world we live in now. Anything can happen.
But
when you walk to a door.
So, just out of curiosity, is that how you think that trial is going to go? Because
Well, here's the thing.
It's gotten moved a little bit, and I think it's starting in August now. But go on.
So here's the thing. A lot of people are gonna say castle doctrine. Now, here's the fun part about it. What you gotta ask yourself is there's gonna be mitigating factors. So I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody because I've actually like testified on behalf of people because of me being an expert.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You got to think about this way, and I don't want to put too much onto that case because I wasn't there and I don't know the details. So I will say that's my disclaimer.
I can't wait for the trial. But
I will say
it's going to be an interesting one.
I will say this: everyone that should get some sort of Ring doorbell or some kind of visual doorbell. I don't advise anybody to have a door and not have a doorbell on it because now it's dangerous to even open your door. People are forcing their way in your home. So it's safer, like even if you get food deliveries, like, hey, leave it there. I appreciate it. You know, I'll tip you on the app or whatever, right?
But doesn't the absence of a doorbell mean like leave me the hell alone? Kind of.
Or I'm too lazy to make one.
Or I mean, you know,
it does. But I mean, the world we live in now, Big Brother is everywhere. Let's just say that, right? You know,
flock cameras, Tiffany.
Man, look, there are so many people. There are so many people getting
stay out of my neighborhood, Brad.
On those cameras, it's not even funny. They're everywhere, and I get it, right? But the big thing is this, though, right? you can't shoot through a door if you're not in imminent danger. Does that make sense? I mean, self-defense is defined four different ways, right? I mean, like not 4 different ways. There's 4 different. There's
I mean, I totally understand. Like, if you can't see through the door, it's an irresponsible action. I feel like as a gun, and I'm not a gun owner, but I don't want anybody to use this kind of shit as like a reason to say, "Hey, we need less guns." It's like, no. This is a horrible accident.
We need less idiots with guns.
Yeah. Bottom line is this: I've never seen a gun kill a person. I've only seen people pull triggers and make stupid decisions. So what I'm saying is this: a lot of people don't realize what self-defense is in the state of Indiana. But bottom line is this: there's mitigating factors. So first factor is you got to be in a place where you have a right to be. That's one. Second, you have to be dealing with an imminent threat, like a real threat, like somebody is about to actually kill you, and then you can, or serious bodily harm. Only then can you act in defense of yourself and others. So as long as you're good at that, I mean, you're good. But here's another part that a lot of people don't think about. You also have to act as a reasonable person. Now that is a very
and that's a hard thing to yeah, and especially in like a thing where you might feel like you are in imminent danger, to be expected to, act as a rational, reasonable person. That's
it's just crazy today. So today in my neighborhood down on Lockwood Street, we had 4 people stabbed, and who knows what
at one time.
There were 2 of them. One of them died. The guy died. They even stabbed the dog.
Yeah, I was like, damn, the dog. Like, I was like, I know it's so like crazy.
So
I was like,
just
damn, the dog for real.
A hypothetical then, if say somebody going door to door for to get signatures for an office is unfortunately murdered, for whatever reason, I don't know, accident. Like, would that trigger some sort of law to change the law about getting signatures? I mean, would it take that kind of a thing, or is it just?
I think you're right on that, Brad. My thing is like it's unfair. If one candidate has to get those signatures, then they all have to get the signatures. So I was literally getting more signatures than somebody running for the U.S. Senate just to run for mayor.
It's busy work, John. It's just
it is.
Busy work.
But, Melvin,
it's meant
shitty teachers would give out.
It's meant to discourage you from
Yes.
trying to move forward. But like I said, I'm smarter than most people, and I said, okay, well,
we'll campaign.
I feel like you found like and I'm not. I feel the smart people find the loophole to get around the dumb law, or like to get around the irrational idea.
Well, usually somebody pays them. So Ballard right now is paying people to go to the supermarkets, to the different places, and I even signed a petition for. I can't remember who it was. It was one of the people running for president that was over at the Kroger. They had one of their people here from Georgia that was just out getting these signatures. So, but Melvin made a good point. He made lemon out of lemonade, or other way around, and it was campaigning. So you are campaigning for that. And some people would say, I don't like you, I'm not signing your petition. Other people would say, I am not voting for you, but I will sign your petition because everyone deserves a chance. So, Mayor Ballard, if I will sign your petition because everybody deserves a chance, I won't vote for you ever. So, that I'm going to tell you that right now, but you deserve to get, if you're going to, he's got to get 38,000 signatures.
Well, this is what we said to people, right? We was like, hey, bottom line is this: we don't like the way that things are being run. We don't like. I told people straight up. I was like, look, this dude crashed IPS, and the same day he was named into a position he never was qualified for. And here's the thing:
qualifications are overrated. Come on, Melvin. That's
we
got a health and human secretary who did cocaine off of a toilet seat. For God's sake.
Not when you're
nothing better than research.
Not when you're deputizing people who have guns and IDs that are out here. And at the end of the day, faith without works is dead. And one thing about me is I'm gonna always work to get my things done. So I can't, worry about other people. I know that if there's a will, God will make a way. And so, like I said, I mean, what's the odds that I would be like, you know what? Let me pray about the situation, and then boom, okay, let's go to early voting and let's get all of our signatures. And guess what? You got to ask yourself. Most people would have been like, man, there's no way you're going to get 800 signatures in 4 days. We got 800 signatures in 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, and you got the go-getters though. You got the early voters who were like, they're gung ho about patriotism and
and Brad, I do think that the zeitgeist, the times are a right for the independents, because I don't think a lot of people realize that there's a lot of independent voters that will either go this way or that way. And if you could get the independent voters, you will win. I mean, you could even win against a Democrat in Marion County if you were to win the overall independent voters and get them to come out. But when you have a primary,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Mouthwash.
I was going to say, when you have a primary, when I go into my ballot and I look and the Republican Party has 0 people running for most of the offices, it's a little disappointing. So,
there was literally a guy that pulled up on me as I was at the city county building downtown, getting signatures. AP actually did an interview with me, which was kind of crazy. I was like, that's tight. AP did an interview, and then on top of AP doing an interview, a guy pulled up, and he was a security guy. And he was like, hey man, I saw you on the billboard, but I'm so mad at you right now. I said, what are you mad at me for? I don't even know you. And he was like, no, I love you, and I love what you're trying to do, but I hated that you weren't on the ballot. And I said, the reason why I wasn't on the ballot is because they didn't allow me to be on the ballot, and that's why I'm getting these signatures. He said, he literally took a clipboard from me. He took a clipboard from me, and he brought me back like a lot of signatures. So, yeah, I mean, when I tell you,
I think the time's right for it. I really do. Okay, so on that note, we're doing conspiracy theory tonight, and you could either stay on, Melvin, or you could, you can bug out. We let anybody that's running for office, because I got a couple tonight that are pretty good. So I got a tinfoil hat here somewhere, so it's an option to you, and I'll play the preview for that. And during the preview, we get our stuff on here. We haven't had the 10.
Yeah, Spiro and Larry Silver, by the way. Just the chat has been hilarious tonight.
Yeah,
Larry Silver. Well, he said something like "boo Democrats" earlier, but then he said "boo Republicans" after that, which made me.
Well, this is what he's a libertarian,
and that makes so much sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Spiro's off this call from China. Spiro is a sound engineer, and he has to work with China, and so he has a call at 9. So he must be off this call.
Are you serious? Have a very. I want to talk to Sphere. I want to talk to him about fish at the Sphere, and also I got to share a Greek Orthodox meme with him later.
Yeah. So by the way, Melvin, I do church pew reviews, and
I've seen some.
Yeah. I'm trying. I need to get that. I'm actually getting more followers on TikTok. I'm almost to the halfway point, but it's been slow going to get that.
Here's the funny part about it. Like people keep telling me that I should start a YouTube channel, and I'm like, I'll try, but a lot of my clients don't want to be on video. So
no. Well, like Brad, it's not time to be good. Hey, Brad, did you see our Ball State volleyball team won some kind of championship? Did you see that? Anyway, here you go.
Brad, are you the only one in that room?
Yeah, I wear this when I'm driving too.
That is crazy work, brother. I used to talk about people like you when I saw them next door. I was like, hey,
I wear this for I wear this just for conspiracy theory.
Yeah, this is it. He's premature. Here you go, Melvin.
You're good.
I did not.
The thing about it is that it's too small for your face.
That part.
Makes me think about all those people running around with small masks on.
I could see the COVID coming out the edges of that one.
So, no, the Hana virus is what's coming out.
Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, well.
Here you go. Hey y'all, it's time for the conspiracy theory, so you better get your tinfoil hat out and let's see what's going on this week.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't warn you about that. My teeth.
That's okay.
I got them fixed, so my teeth are good now. So Lucy is our libertarian, and she is the queen of conspiracy fact.
Yes.
She talks about all sorts of deep down in the weeds kind of conspiracies. And then, Brad, he sometimes had some. And then Tiffany, other than Bigfoot, has nothing in the conspiracy area. I don't know what that's about. So, Brad, do you have anything for us tonight?
Right now, I'm still waiting for my Trump phone. You put down a $100 deposit and you get a gold phone, because I'm like recovering from TDS, so I'm really trying to buy into the lifestyle.
Melvin, he's got it bad too. I think we've got to calm down to at least 12
and also I did want
Trump.
Happy birthday to my grandma. She's 89 today.
Wow.
Congrats.
Yes, and she's this lovely Greek woman, Blue Chip Casino. They knew it was her birthday, so they gave her like a little pin, and everybody started wishing her happy birthday. She loved that. It was hilarious. So good job.
I should sing happy birthday to her.
See, there you go. No, and see, she knows. I don't know if she knows that I don't like when people sing, and so she sends me
I can sing
a
a
happy
little
birthday.
bit, though.
No, she'll sing me happy birthday, and she's the only person that I'm like okay with singing to me. Everybody, I'm like, God, how much longer are we gonna do happy birthday?
Oh, I like that. Happy birthday. You don't like the version? Uh-oh.
That is crazy.
No. But so my conspiracy theory though is this whole trip to China is about the phone, because you know that it's not made in the USA. That it's actually made in China. I don't know if there's actually like gold in the paint, but why else would Trump be going to China? It's not like there's anything else that's needing to be discussed or fixed that he messed up.
That is so funny.
But yeah, that's my conspiracy. So
okay, well, I hope you get that phone. And Melvin got his Democrat card today. That's good.
So funny.
I'm so jealous of that. That is,
yeah, you'll get one of those. Tiffany, do you have anything? Do you have a conspiracy? Yeah, that's okay.
I got nothing.
And Bigfoot's, haven't had even Bigfoot sightings in a while. So
there we go.
I got that. But I got two tonight. One conspiracy is a rumor
alerts are going off
that I heard. What's that?
Let me mute my alerts.
Uh-oh. Something's bad. Something's blowing up. I gotta go.
Good old Enterprise.
Is this part of conspiracy theory? This is genius.
Yeah, really.
What?
If this is part of conspiracy theory, this is genius. You got to.
Yeah, you got an alert. That means that and you don't even have your tinfoil hat on, so it's just going to go straight into your head.
That's crazy.
Working before he is working.
Well, it's all the UFO stuff,
oh yeah, that's coming out.
All those files came out in the new Spielberg money.
Reported shots fired. Burglary and probably Jesus.
That doesn't sound like what I was describing. That's
so do you want me to start with the rumor first, or do you want me to start with a conspiracy
rumor?
Okay, the rumor. All right, so we've done our show with Cindy Mowry, who has to pay back $14,000 to the state for misappropriating funds at the Marion County Fairgrounds. Now, the rumor is that she will be fired from voter registration by the end of the month. So there you go. That's my rumor. Now, my conspiracy is, I don't know if
to do with voter registration. What does that mean?
She's in charge of she's the appointed Republican voter registration person. She's been there for years.
Oh,
so she's going to get unappointed, is what I've heard.
Oh wow!
Allegedly, all that stuff, so I don't get sued. Allegedly. So that's your rumor conspiracy theory. But this other one, I don't know. Does anybody else suffer from the ringing in the ears? Do you get the ringing in the ears? Yeah. How about you, Brad? You get it?
Oh yeah, like from concerts and stuff.
Okay, so when did you notice getting it? Did you notice? Has it been recent, or do you like from always?
I mean, it's usually just at certain times. Honestly, like if it's extremely quiet and I notice that it's quiet, and then I'm like, it's not as quiet as I thought because there's this ringing in my ear,
the hissing or whatever. How about you, Melvin?
Yeah.
You get any of that stuff every once in a while?
So Did I jump off? No, I'm
No,
still
no,
on.
you're still there.
Okay. Yeah.
You probably should get off, but
I was like,
You didn't close out the one window, did you, on accident? The one about the shooting? Like that would have been it's just they'll call back. That's
yeah.
Wait, hey, here you go,
So-
Brad. It's TDS is your ringing of the ears. That's your sip.
What isn't TDS? No, it's like I'm lactose intolerant. That goes in with TDS. Actually, that is like the best thing about my grandma. She's 89 years old, has never paid attention to politics. I do think TDS is genetic. I have gotten it from her. I've never heard her talk about politics, and she's this little Greek woman who just sits there and she's like, "Oh, he says things, Brad. He says things," and I'm like laughing my ass off because she can't even like, you know.
Oh, I was shaking my head when he had the IU football team there. I was glad you'd be proud of me. Cringing.
Did you see what he said today about not caring about Americans' spending and stuff, or like not caring about our financial position?
I don't watch the news that much, but the thing was on the IU.
I don't care about the news, but I don't care about the news, but we got to watch him. Okay, that's part of it.
Melvin, this is the TDS kicking in.
See, damn it! It's I
You just can't help it. We just get him started.
Then it just takes over. It's
So
like a
anyway,
rat.
Trump's
easy,
up
it's
there talking
snowball.
about the IU football team, mispronouncing their names and everything. And then he goes off on this tirade about how he's doing all this great stuff. I'm like, dude, shut your pie hole and say, hey, great job on the national championship. And then, oh God, never mind. Now I got the TDS all of a sudden. It's rubbing off on me because I'm on Brad's side.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So okay, back to the ringing of the ears. Okay, so I didn't get this ringing of my ears until about 2020, which I thought, oh, this is the COVID. The COVID's making me have the ringing of the ears. But I said, no, that's not it. What we got one of those 5G towers right over here by the 7th and 8th grade center, and that's what I think is causing it. Them 5Gs are getting in my ear and making me have the ringing.
You sound crazy. You sound crazy.
Are you sure it's not just
Well,
like
I got a freaking tinfoil hat on, and
You
it's
sound crazy. Mm.
You don't think that could be a possibility that the
That's the way
5G
you
they
said
want to
it,
go
you
to?
looked at yourself. The whole
What's that?
way you delivered that was just textbook crazy, man.
Well, I mean, where
We are here for the
right.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, like
See,
I think
he agrees. You were like, it's getting in my head. I mean, that was
It's going right. It's going there and out.
That is
there
what
and out.
crazy people say. Yes.
It's
well,
Tell
the
me you're
tinfoil
crazy
hat is
without telling me
perfect
you're
right now.
crazy.
Like
you know what? It is sort of. It is blocking it a little bit. It is not as bad as usual.
I
It does
just
come and
keep it
go.
on, John. Don't take it off
take
for
it off.
a while.
I
And
need,
this is
I need
how
to wear a lot of
people-
This
sunscreen.
is very
too.
uncomfortable.
I need to quit eating that sunscreen.
We're seeing a transition. This is
So
this
you guys.
This is like when you visit somebody every week at the nursing home, and then one week you come and you're like, something not right.
yeah, that yeah.
Well,
that
they probably put a
turns.
5G tower by the nursing home. Do you ever think of that?
Oh man,
That's crazy work, right
now
there,
you can
baby.
pay
And,
attention
yeah,
where those
nursing
towers
homes are going to be built on top of data centers too.
I-
by
you
the
You know
way.
We
what?
had
You know,
one-
someone did say something to me today, and I was like, "That's kind of crazy." And I was like, and he was like, "Hey, so you're consulting a lot of clients in the city?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Are you consulting any data centers?" I said, "No." And he was like, "Oh, okay," because I heard that some of these data centers are like going to be the entrance to bunkers, and I was like,
No, I think they are totally targets for terrorism. Though I think it's a frightening kind of idea. Same thing with interstates to me, by the way. But
Brad, that's brilliant. To
no,
have
it's
them
not.
so
I mean,
close
it's.
to neighborhoods and big cities.
I don't.
That
Tiffany,
sounds
don't-
like
I got
now
off
think
Brad.
that through.
Now we can pick
That
on Brad
sounds like
again.
some Chinese technology that got misinterpreted, and the Americans are going to put their data centers in the worst places
Yeah.
imaginable for
Tiffany, don't.
for national defense. That's brilliant.
Okay, we're gonna end this show, but Spiro wants to know my latest bad dad joke, so I'm gonna tell it, and it's bad. Melvin, you might want to earplug this. So
I love that
the-
everything that we've talked about tonight. This has a disclaimer.
"Oh,
wait, I got a disclaimer up here. We should put it. Hold on. this is a little late for it.
Melvin, this was really fun, by the way. Thank you for.
Here we go.
coming
This
on and
is
stuff, man.
this is so there. If they,
No
they wanna
worries,
clip
brother.
it.
No worries.
Yeah. We want to, like I said, I want to follow this. I think it's ripe for a conspiracy theorist, and I'm also putting your in the comments. I'm putting your website that where you can people can go and give you a few dollars. Maybe you want to see another horse billboard or two.
But because unfortunately I got to run another race now. But that's okay.
Well, you don't look like you're scared of that. So here's my bad dad joke, Melvin.
Even a little bit.
Quick question, Melvin. Who all are you running against?
So, in the primary,
Some
it would
people,
have
don't
been
worry
5
about it,
people,
Tiffany.
and now I'm only going to run against one person as soon as they validate all my signatures. So I feel like, hey, it's a better situation, right? It was a 20% chance the first time. Now it's a 50% chance, but I know it's going to be, I'm going to win.
I think so too. I'm going to get all my homeless friends to vote for you in Center Township. And I know a few. So
all of them know me. Just ask them about Minister Hall. They know the guy in the white truck.
Yeah, I maybe I'll talk.
People have IDs.
Go ahead,
Melvin,
Tiffany,
it
what
sounds
you
like there's some feedback on your webpage too in the comments. You might want to look.
Oh yeah, you gotta put a disclaimer on there. Paid for by, the whatever.
Major
So put a
Melvin
disclaimer
Hall
on there. Paid for by your campaign committee or whatever it's called.
No worries. No worries.
You get it. So because
I will handle it.
they will pick on you. So anyway, here's my bad dad joke. Hey Melvin, do you know where a fish goes to get a nose job?
No, I do not.
From a plastic sturgeon.
That is crazy. I think I heard that.
That's terrible.
I think I heard that earlier this week.
See, I thought it was going to be something with
well, I said it when I roasted my dog. I had to come up with a bad dad joke because my doctor retired and I had to use it. So that was the closest thing I could make up was that joke.
Nice. I think I heard that one. I think I saw it on your page. So
I did put it on there. I like see this guy. I researched him and he researched me. So here's one for you. What do you call a Christmas decoration made out of $100 bills?
I have
Aretha Franklin's.
Yes, Tiffany got it. You've heard it before. See, Tiffany, remember Aretha Franklin's. That's correct. You win the prize, Tiffany, for the week. Glad to have you back on the show, Brad. As usual, you've been. You could watch the Rinse at 7:30. His
that's a fun time. And everybody come to the baseball game.
The baseball game.
Melvin, if you can make it out there, it's
let's put it up again.
Protect us.
I will definitely try.
I mean, and honestly, guys, like there's a fireworks show afterwards. This is one of the reasons that I chose this night was because I'm a fan of fireworks shows.
I am literally taking a picture of it right now, and I'm sending it to my assistant and letting her know to make sure that day, hopefully, I'm not already scheduled to do something.
Oh,
but I'm definitely going to try to come.
That's great.
No, and honestly, the Indians have been very great to deal with. No treaties have been broken yet, so we're
nobody's treading on you.
Yeah,
no.
Do you feel very native tonight? Is that what you're
I do. There's been no trail of tears, so it's been nice.
Okay, all right, kids. Well, you're. Well, I'm doing the short.
These are good dad jokes too.
Yeah, they are. They are. One more, maybe. No.
I don't have to.
No, never mind. One more. What does a gold digger and a deer hunter have in common?
I'm not sure.
They're both hunting big bucks. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, kids. We'll see you next week. I don't know who we have coming on next week, but I think there's somebody. You know what? We might be having Ashley Grog on because we got a new virus coming out, and she's for medical freedom. So why
there's a new virus? I thought it was going to go away.
It's a hootie in the blowfish virus.
I love making Tiffany just close her eyes and imagine that she's somewhere else.
She's just so glad she's back. I can tell. She just the 5G is just oozing
We've
out.
Missed you so much, Tiffany. Yeah, this was nice.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Melvin, thanks for coming on. We will be watching, and hopefully you can make it to our Indians game. And it's a fun group. We got a fun group of people that watch this show and they pay attention. So
bottom line is this: I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. I appreciate you giving me the platform. I mean, like I said, they're going to validate those signatures. If anybody wants to help me get additional signatures, that'd be great. My goal is to get 10K because at this point, it's one of those situations where it's like every person I get to talk to is a person that could possibly vote, and also a person that needs to know the difference between what's going on, because a lot of people just don't pay attention. And that's our biggest issue right now, is that I often tell people, vote like your life depends on it, because it does. And a lot of people don't think it does, but they with Medicare.
Well,
and
these parties have done a good job discouraging and destroying people, and they rinse and repeat. And so it just, a lot of people get discouraged to vote because it doesn't matter. So, but we've got some, a few victories. We're going to go over some stuff, but getting an independent in there, it sends a message to both parties. I'm here for it. So
every person that I obtained a signature from, I handed them my ministry card, told them they could call me and email me at any time. I'm going to be just as responsive as I am now, as once elected. See, one thing about me is I've had the same phone number since I was 14 years old, and I'm 38 now. So when I tell you I'm dead serious about keeping my number and keeping communication open, I mean, I got clients right now that call me from 10, 15 years ago, and they're like, "Hey, you still doing that?" And I'm like, "Yep." They're like, "Hey, I need a new,
there's probably people who have actually like memorized your phone number. Like I can't remember the last time I did that.
8675201. Jenny, what can I? Okay, bye everybody. We're done.
All right, guys.
We're done. We're out.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Melvin, stay
Good
on
luck.
after. Stay on after, because we have a little after thing here. So
No worries.
Sometimes it's more fun than show. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you next week, same time, 9:00. Catch Drew and Brad at 7:30 p.m. on Sundays for the rinse, and then
we're going to be talking about drugs next time.
We're talking about drugs, okay?
We're just three hippies talking about drugs. So
that's funny.
Oh, you got the Mark Small on there too, correct?
Oh, that's going to be a fun one. Yes, but we're going to talk about legalization and stuff. We're going to talk about Iran with Netanyahu saying that basically the job's not done yet.
I heard that Iran was calling the flock of seagulls to help out with this negotiation because they ran so far away. No, bye.